And now back to Bobby Likis Car Clinic and your host, Bobby Likis.
And welcome back to Bobby Likis Car Clinic, folks. What a great program. I'll take your car questions really soon at 888 Car Clinic. If you're one of my Facebook followers, you've seen the splash about digital license plates on my page. And as you Car Clinic listeners and viewers know, I'm very much on board with advanced technologies. So I'm most interested in digital license plates. That's right, you heard me right. On the Car Clinic hotline with me now is Neville Boston, CEO and co-founder of Reviver, which produces the multi-function digital license plate, the R plate. We'll find out more about that coming up right now. Neville, welcome to Bobby Likis Car Clinic. Glad to have you in the house.
Man, glad to be a part.
What an interesting concept. I can't say that I haven't thought about as anytime I think we all, as human nature, we hear of something, we say, oh, I should have done that. Well, this is one of those, I wish I had done that because I think it's a fantastic. My concern was the legality of it, and I can't wait. And I'm going to ask you about that a little bit later, but what is the R plate and how does it work?
Okay, what the R plate is it's a communication portal. It's a digital. One thing that it does is that gives compliance. It's a license plate, but it does so much more. You have the ability to do over-air registration for your license plate, but it also allows for you to pay for your parking and tolling. It is kind of a control point that allows information to be shared. Like if something happened to your car was stolen, you have the ability to present that on the plate. If a child was lost, you can put an Amber Alert on it. If an elderly person was lost, you can put Silver Alert. You can put information as it comes to inclement weather. It is, the 21st century's, way of communicating with, drivers, and it's wholly unique. So, what it is basically we've digitized the plate for communication, but we've opened up a myriad of really interesting things that you can do based on the technology. The license plate hadn't been, renewed or revived in over 125 years, and we felt like this was the perfect place to have an always-on kind of connected platform that really interacts with you in the road.
So you mentioned that's intriguing. There's so much information. I have so many questions. So here we go. Let's say that on my plate, I have CARCLNC, which is, and that's all the letters that will fit on the Florida tag, and it says
right.
Car Clinic. That's short for Car Clinic. And I use that
right.
specifically and have for years. So I could put that on my digital R plate, and I could color it. I mean, what's legal? And, well, I'll get into that a little bit later. How many states are legal, and how many do you see in the future being legalized? But, gosh, as I said, so many questions. I'm sorry. Here's one.
No.
I mean, it's fabulous, Neville. Here's the bottom line. Let's say someone steals my car. Now my car is gone. How do I change a plate? Because my car is gone and the plate's on it.
Well, this is the thing. You have the ability with the plate. It has a GPS. So you can enable it as the owner of the vehicle or disable it. So if your vehicle is stolen, you're able to enable and basically track where your plate is going. You could then share that information with law enforcement to help you retrieve your vehicle. We're, in the process of expanding this and, going into other states. One of the states that's very close to you that's going to be running legislation, the person who's running the bill, he came to me and said, listen, I've been in law enforcement for 30 years. He was like, a technology like this could have helped to save lives because you have an ability to, one, identify, that issue, and two, you have the ability to get the information to actually do something about it. And that's what I think technology should be. It should be a way that communities can help each other with it. It shouldn't just be about, how is this a benefit just for just me? But I look at it as, from a community perspective, as a way that we can help each other. And I think that, utilizing technology like this, when you think about it, one, yes, it can help you find your car. Two, if there was information that needed to be communicated about inclement weather with other vehicles on the road, you're able to communicate that as well. And then it's an easy way for you now not to have to go to the DMV and update your tag from your app, which is how we live our lives today. So you're able to take your digital footprint from your cell phone and then input that information into your vehicle and now have a myriad of additional features that you can utilize. So it's a way to live your life as seamlessly as we're doing with the new digital age that we're in.
So to be clear, and folks, we're talking with Neville Boston, CEO and co-founder of Reviver. I see this as a license plate. Okay, so it has, I guess, LEDs, and it's colorable, and then you can change the numbers depending on registration, and it has a GPS. So with regard to like self-driving automobiles, it's more connectivity to the car. And one thing you said, which I'm on board with, one thing that you said is very intriguing, and I want to make sure that our Car Clinic listeners understand the total picture. It's more than just a license plate. It is actually a locator device as well. Is that not the case?
Yeah, absolutely. Because I think what people do initially when they think about it, they think it's just a digital plate. So you've gone from a piece of stamped aluminum to now a digital piece of stamped, digital process. But it's not that. You cannot look at it as just a license plate. A license plate in compliance is one thing that this plate does. It does a myriad of other things. And yes, you're correct. It's a way in which you can now identify where your vehicle is. It's a way that you can now communicate with those around you, a status. It allows you to integrate with the world around you because you're able to use it, for bridge tolls, also for parking. When it comes to AVs, autonomous vehicles, it will be part of the vehicle-to-vehicle, vehicle-to-infrastructure, connectivity point, because now you have an opportunity and an ability to be able to communicate with the city around you. So those are the things that you can now do with this type of technology. And what's nice about it is that it's a piece of initial hardware, but you can update it. You can update it over air, and that allows you to really configure it to its best use. And I think that that's what's different about it. Think about the advent of, going from a flip phone to a smartphone. And then you realize on the smartphone, one of the last things that you do with it is talk on it. You do everything else. You pay your bills. You will manipulate a document. You will check your email. You will search and look up information. And then you also talk on it. So that's not the leading piece of how you utilize the technology, is not for literally communication between people by voice. It's one of the things that's done with it, but it's probably 20%. It's so much more than that. And the same way the plate is. So I think people get caught up sometimes thinking like, oh, it's a fat piece of metal and has, limited things that it can do. No, it's just the opposite. It's a digital format, and it has unlimited things that it can do.
So what powers it? Is it wireless to the car? Do I have to change or get into the electronic architecture of my vehicle to install it?
Okay, so two things. There is, right now, we have a wired product that if you've got a fob for your trunk and you can open your trunk, remotely, then you can connect to constant 12-volt power, which will power the plate. Very soon, we will have one that is completely battery operated. So you'll have the choice between the two. But, right now, what we have in the market is a wired plate.
Okay. And that plate is the same size as the registration plate. Is it
Absolutely.
LED? Is it LED and backlit?
No, it's not. So it's not LED. And the reason why is that LED, you have to have constant power.
Okay.
What it is e-paper. So it's like the Amazon Kindle. It's bistable. And what that means, it makes no ambient draw and needs no power to show an image. So what was a quirk became a feature. If there's an image on e-paper, it locks that image. And what's nice about it, it operates just like a metal plate. So if you have your car at the airport and say it was there a month because you were traveling, when you come back, you start your car, your license plate is still visible the entire time. There's no change. And that's why we use this technology. Also, it was because of the temperature range. It can go from -40 to 85 C, so up to about 180 degrees. So it gives you the ability to utilize it in all kinds of temperatures.
So who makes the R plate? And let's discuss Reviver. Just information about you and or your company and who's making the R plate for your company.
Well, okay, so we have contract manufacturers that actually make it. Reviver is a company that is built on innovation. We've made the world's first digital plate and platform, and that's what we focus on, and that's what we do. One of the things that you had asked earlier is where is it available? Well, it's been sold since June of 2018 in California. It has been completely legalized for utilization in Arizona and in Michigan. We will have an additional 6 states, in addition to the states that I just mentioned, that will be utilizing the technology between now and the end of the year. And then we're working with our neighbors to the north on rolling out plates, in addition to, Dubai as well. We've been working a proof of concept with them over the last year. We're actively working with them on this technology. So it should be in 2 countries, and we should encompass a little over 8 states this year alone.
Wow. So here's the plan going forward. Due to our limited time per segment, I'm going to, number one, thank you for joining us today. This is Neville Boston, CEO and co-founder of Reviver. And also, Neville, as you go along this year, in the year of 2019, and gather more states, and also maybe can share with me a prototype, I would like to have you back on the air for an update, because this is one of those technological, I think, breakthroughs that is so applicable to every car owner. I mean, the use of it is as stated, but it's not a tag for your car. It's much more than that. So I really appreciate the time. I think it's a terrific idea, but due to the time constraints, I will have to get you back on. Terrific, fabulous idea, folks. That's Reviver. And the website, what's the website?
Is www.reviver.com.
Hey, thanks so much for joining us. Terrific idea. I look forward to having you back, and we'll be reaching out. Again, folks, this was Neville Boston, CEO and co-founder of Reviver, which is a digital license plate and more. Neville, thanks for joining us on Bobby Likis Car Clinic. Terrific.
Man, thank you so much for the opportunity. I look forward to keeping you updated on our progress.